Good evening and welcome back to the Hair Curler Chronicles. Tim and Nancy Danter here in our living room, Kitchener-Waterloo, with our great friend Tim Perry. Welcome back, Tim.
Hello.
I know it's funny because most people can see we're in the same clothes. We're doing this over and over and over again, but what we're trying to do is chunk out the information in smaller bite-sized pieces because it's just too large otherwise.
Well, and I think the amount of time between this video and the first video Tim did saying you need to start building everything, getting ready to go, people would have had some time to digest it, putt around with it, and get it ready to go for this video. So here we go. Yeah, so we left off with the first thing we talked about, in our last video we talked about you need to have a fiat on-ramp, which we mutually agreed our favorite was BitBuy, but you could use a company like ShakePay, either one will work. And that BitBuy has a 1.5% of your amount that you're putting in the investment is what they're going to take in fees, which Tim had pointed out was reasonable for this type of service. And then from there, you're going to either buy your altcoins on a centralized exchange such as Binance, or you're going to buy it on a decentralized exchange such as Uniswap or SushiSwap. But for today's exercise, we're going to talk about what do you do when you get to Uniswap. And so for using Uniswap, just to confirm, you have to use Ethereum because it's that decentralized exchange. Correct?
Yeah, that's the only way you'll get it there. Other than Tether as well. If you were sending it from somewhere, you can do that too. But for the most part, stick with Ethereum. It's just the easiest way.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So my Tim, this is so confusing when I have the dueling Tims. My Tim is going to open up and share with you what Uniswap looks like. And again, as of last video, we talked a lot about there's some safety that's involved with all of this stuff, and there's all kinds of crazy things that can happen on the internet. So our recommendation is that you use a link found in the video because you know that you'll be able to go there.
So here's a great example, Nance, is if we go right up here to the top button, it doesn't have the HTTPS, which is what I was kind of saying to Tim. The first time we were doing, oh my God, he said, well, just go up here and double click on it, right? And there it is, HTTPS. And then you told me to bookmark it, right?
And then bookmark all of them. That way, because if you guys are all getting into crypto, and it just makes it that much easier and you don't have to constantly be on your guard.
Perfect. Okay, take it away, Tim.
Okay, so quickly too, so we'll use my two big sleeper coins that we've talked about as examples. We'll just stick with Union for now because that's my favorite. You do want to see whether it trades on a decentralized exchange or only a centralized exchange. So we'll use our Bible, CoinGecko,
right,
and we will type in the ticker, which is UNN.
Hang on, I got to move the picture. There we go. UNN, right there, right?
Yep. And then Union Protocol.
It's thinking.
Okay, so dip to bit for anybody who's looking to get in on a good entry. So you go down the screen. Obviously, it gives you tons of information. And as you go further down
here?
Yeah, keep going. Beyond the charts,
okay,
it will show you all the markets it's on.
Okay.
So here's all the markets. So it's on. So the top one for volume, and it shows you the volume. So obviously, we kind of want to go, once again, we're looking for liquidity. So hey, good news is the most liquidity is on Uniswap. Bilaxy, I'm just going to give a heads up to anyone. Don't ever use Bilaxy. Use a lot what's called wash trading. So it says 1 million in volume. That's all really just fake trading. So, but BitMax is a decent one, but doesn't have a lot of volume, and that's a centralized exchange. So good for us. We get to use Uniswap. Okay. So you would go back up the screen. And everything works in crypto with addresses, contract addresses, everything. So as you can see on the left here, just below the Union here, there's the fox head. And then, yes, there's this number kind of letters, all that. To the right, it's got two clipboards kind of thing. It would say you'll be able to copy that.
Okay.
Okay. So And always just kind of to stay vigilant, kind of take in the numbers, the last, say, 3 digits, 3A9D, just so you're getting the right contract address, because caveat emptor to everyone that's watching, a lot of scammers out there will give fake contract addresses. So this is the best way to maneuver through a decentralized exchange, because a decentralized exchange, you can go and just type in the symbol and it'll give you the symbol, but it might not be the right contract for the real coin. By going to CoinGecko, you get the authentic one.
Okay.
Okay. So once you've got that, you would then go up to Uniswap.
Yep.
And then you would say either use Uniswap there, the pink button.
Okay.
And then providing your MetaMask is open.
It is open.
So, okay. So as long as your MetaMask is unlocked and open, it will give you a feature here in which you can connect to your wallet. I think you might be connected. I can't see from our screen.
I am connected, but just for the viewers, where would they go to do that?
It would either be where the enter amount little box is there in the middle of this little box, or it would be up in the top right saying connect to wallet. And then you'll see it like the MetaMask little fox head will come up. It'll ask you to connect. You'll confirm it, and then bam. So as you can see, Tim and Nancy have Ether sitting in their wallet. And now in that little box in the middle, you can see it says balance. So it is now interacting with your MetaMask wallet,
okay,
and it is aware of what you have in it.
Okay.
So then you would go to select token in the middle box. And this is where you could, you could type in UNN, but you don't know if you're going to get the right contract. So this is where you instead, because we just copy and pasted it from CoinGecko and we know we've got the authentic one, you would paste this address on it. So, and it will acknowledge that you've got the right union. So in 3A9D, just you kind of confirm the last 4 digits, helps you know that you've still got the right contract. You would then click on that. And then this is where just, especially with smaller coins that have less liquidity, you're usually safe with what's called slippage. So if you go up to the settings wheel in the top right corner of this little box.
So what is slippage, Tim?
Slippage is kind of the price that you're going to have to fluctuate the asking price. So in CoinGecko, we saw that the asking price is about 6.2 cents right now. When you increase the slippage, which you would never have to do with Union, but let's say you had to increase it just as a fair number to 10% slippage. That means to get your coin, like to get your buy in, you will most likely be buying at 10% higher than the price is right now to get the liquidity, to get in, to make it enticing for someone to fill that order.
So not to confuse anyone, but it's just, I just had something come to mind. Is the slippage different than gas?
Yes. Yes. Slippage is literally you affecting the actual price of Union. So by you were going to put 2%, which means you're going to be most likely buying Union at 2% higher than the price that you saw, because you have to get liquidity. If you were on a centralized exchange, you would either A, be putting a buy in at a lower price or accepting that you're going to buy it at the ask,
More like, so centralized so would it be fair to say centralized is more relatable to how you would buy a stock where it's a bid and an ask?
Yeah, exactly. But this is, you're essentially just, you don't get to see the bid and the ask in Uniswap,
right,
but you're creating kind of a ghost bid ask, right? You're putting out a price that's 2% higher to bring liquidity in.
Now, can I ask a quick question here?
Yeah.
Is 2% the normal that you would want to go with, or you really want it to go higher than 2%?
No, for any normal coin, you don't need to do that. For something like Aave on a decentralized exchange, it's so big, it gets billions of volume like a day kind of thing. You could do 0.5%. It's all indicative of how much volume a coin is getting in that day. Like we saw, there's only about $1 million trading right now on Uniswap. So that's not a lot. If a coin was going crazy today, like it was up 50%, you're seeing, and the ticker's going like this on a chart or something like that, you would have to buy in at higher because it's fluctuating so high. So you'd have to go 5 or 10% to get in there. But usually my advice as someone is buy on a day that's, you know, a red day and not as much. Take, for instance, right now. So.
Okay, so I go up to this little.
Yeah, so go up to the settings wheel.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that I would mess with in Uniswap. There are other things that I still haven't even learned of, and I haven't had to. So only mess with the slippage. Don't adjust anything else. So you're at 1% right now. You could probably do 1.52. So you could do 1.5. You would type it into the far right box there beside the 1%.
1.5. 1.5. Yeah.
So then you can kind of exit that. Just click on the screen. Okay. And then you would type in now how much Ethereum, if you want to use max Ethereum, but you have to factor in that you're going to owe gas. But just for example, you hit max and it will tell you how much you will get for your Ethereum. You would get obviously 5,300 roughly Union coins. And you can actually see down at the bottom, it's showing the price impact of the coin so that it won't affect the price of the coin too much.
No.
But then you would hit swap, just for example. Now, we will get denied because you don't have any extra Ethereum to pay for gas, but this will just show you how much gas is going to be necessary.
And I think this is where one of our viewers got it, was he got whacked with the gas.
Yeah, and then you would hit confirm swap. And the best part is nothing's going to confirm until you accept the gas. So this is just all, I do this all the time just to see how much gas is that day.
Okay.
And if obviously it's too much, which it is again. So it was, I told Tim and Nancy earlier, it was like 25 bucks earlier today. It's back up to 50. So at the money that you have, it's not worth it because that same $50 gas would be the equivalent if you put $1,000 in or $2,000 worth.
So it doesn't matter what we're investing. That is the one-time gas fee of 50 bucks for
exactly.
$10,000.
It's just the gas to do the transaction. It doesn't matter whether you were moving with, you know, $1,000. At least so far, I've noticed that. I don't know if there is, and that's not something I'm super 100% on, but I've always noticed that in my experiments, I've changed the price. You know, okay, I put $1,000 in and it was $80 the one day. I'm like, no way. So I put 2,000 in, it was still $80.
Okay. So Tim, let me ask you a question. I mean, because of the audience, and I can't speak on behalf of the audience, but I do know that, you know, they're probably used to the normal stocks and bonds and penny stocks and stuff like that. And I don't know if they equivalate this at being so cheap as a penny stock, but it really, for someone who doesn't have a lot of 3 or 4 digits or 4 digits to invest,
yep.
This can hold them back because the gas will kill them.
And it, in my opinion, it is holding people back from the Ethereum network. You have things right now, like I do things such as staking on platforms and stuff, and it costs me $50 just to unstake now. So it's like, I don't even want to unstake my coins, right? So for yield credit, if I want to do a lend or a borrow, you still pay gas. Anything that the function is. The only thing I can go back now, a lot of people these days with Robinhood, they don't have expensive fees. But when I was 16 and had a water trade account, it was $40 per trade that I would have to call water trade, do the, you know, I would like to buy this, and it was 40 bucks. So I always look back, I'm like, okay, like Union is just starting, you know, 5,000 coins at 6 cents. This could be a multiple dollar coin. So if you know you're in it for the long term, then the fees aren't bad. But if you have enough time on your hands, check it out during the day, because earlier on that $50 for me was about 25.
So I guess the other question, Tim, is that on this decentralized platform of Uniswap, is there any other platforms that they can get the gas fee cheaper, or is the gas fee always going to hover around the high end of it?
So,
and that's just the problem with Ethereum right now.
So there's new layer, you know, 2 solutions. There's a new exchange coming out that I'm quite fond of, but I wouldn't buy right now because it's up 20,000 times its starting price in a month. But the reason it's up so much is because it is a decentralized exchange similar to Uniswap that has found a way to cut the fees, the gas fees, in half.
Okay.
So that's why it's so big. and understandably so. And the ticker's called I. But the problem is it has no coins yet that are being added enough because all the liquidity is on Uniswap. So the one problem is with all these exchanges with new innovations, they don't have the liquidity. So there's this like flux right there, right? Whereas if you wanted to buy right now, say if you want to dip your toes in, the Binance Smart Chain exchange is pennies on the dollar for any exchange, any trade, or any move. So that's why right now Binance Smart Chain is going nuts. But in my opinion, it's not as decentralized. No. And people like me who actually believe in the tech and also want to make money, I still stay on Ethereum type stuff.
But Binance is way more complicated, as we've already, you and I have been down that path before, right?
Well, the Binance Smart Chain works exactly like this. And you can actually right now, you can integrate the Binance Smart Chain into your Metamask. You would just have to switch. There's an arrow where you say switch to the Binance Smart Chain instead of the Ethereum. And then you would go on, Binance has its own equivalent of Uniswap, which is called Pancake Swap. And you would do the exact same thing that I just showed you. And it would be pennies on the dollar.
Okay, so I don't have to go through that hassle of all that Binance. Remember that one screen of Binance I showed you? And I said, forget it.
No, that's the centralized version of it. They have a little more, it's still technically not decentralized, but it's more decentralized than their main exchange.
And that's Pancake.
Yeah, Pancake Swaps. It's technically, it's just, it's not affiliated directly with Binance, Pancake Swap, but it accepts all stuff on the Binance chain.
Okay, fair enough.
And soon, like just this is how fast the technology is going. Soon there will be cross-chain swaps. So there will be like a Uniswap that accepts everything. We will get to a point where you will be able to cross-chain all the stuff. You know, Ethereum's fees will be less. Like that's how fast it's advancing.
Okay, so two things. Thing number one, when you're looking at profitability on this, so just say we wanted to accept the $50 fee or whatever on here. Just say we did.
Yeah.
In theory, what you were saying before is if we held this long enough and we were going to make hundreds of dollars, that $50 really doesn't matter. It's you just add it to instead of paying 6 cents a coin, just consider yourself paying 7 cents a coin or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
you have to think about it.
Yeah. Like I sometimes trade stuff, right? So now I don't trade anything on Ethereum because I'm not paying these fees. It's not worth it. But something like Union, if I was in your exact position right now and I didn't have all day to monitor the gas, I would bite that bullet just because the chances of multiples over time is far more than a $50 gas fee. And hopefully by the time that you sell your Union for multiples more, that solution will have been rectified.
Okay. Second thing that's gone in my mind is, so now I've bought, just say in theory, I've bought this coin. Where is this coin? How do I know it's mine? Is it like, because at least with Bitcoin, I have a wallet. I know where it's sitting. It's sitting in BlockFi. I'm making my interest. Where is this coin?
It's held in Metamask, isn't it?
Well, obviously, yeah, it would be held the minute it does that if you were to go through with this transaction, you'd see in like the top right, little fox would pull up saying transaction confirmed. You'd go over to your Metamask and you would see it. Unless, and this is with Metamask, I don't know if we've done it with Tim yet.
No.
But if you go to your Metamask, it only shows Ethereum at the start. And let's just say, without panicking, so Tim has added it, but let's add yield credit for fun so people can see. So Tim, if you scroll down, go to add token, and then you go to custom token.
Custom token.
And then go to your CoinGecko.
No, that's CoinGecko.
Yep. And then type in the search bar YLD. Now, remember, there's multiple YLDs, and I actually don't mind the other big one, which is yield app, but the one I really like is the middle yield there. They've stopped calling it yield credit, which makes it more confusing. So click on that. And remember, everything's just done by contract addresses. So you'd go down a bit. You go to where we showed the contract address there. You'd copy it.
Okay.
And then you go back to your MetaMask. And then you would paste it, and it will do the rest for you because it automatically knows what you're talking about. Something happened here. It's not. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Now it's acknowledged that it's yield. Yeah. Hit next. Now let's just say you'd already bought yield, but you panicked because it didn't show up in your wallet. It's on the blockchain. So all you have to do is, if you would say bought 5 yield right there, it would now show, even though you didn't have it yet acknowledged in your MetaMask. Okay. Another reason not to panic.
I have to add this now, don't I?
So,
and then add tokens. Yeah.
Okay. So because we haven't done this yet, but we're
and then go back to account on the top left. And then that's, reject that. That's your gas. Reject. And then this will just show you your original. So now this is your front page.
So if you move this.
Yes, I will.
Sorry. So should we, because we know we're going to take your sage advice, and we're going to buy some of your top 5 coins. Before we actually go in and do it, should we do exactly what we just did with the yield and at least get those symbols up so that when it comes in, we can see how many of each we have? Is that what you
can do that? I just want people to understand, because like I did the first time that I did it too, because I forgot to add the coin contract first. And I panicked. I'm like, oh my God, did I somehow screw up? But no, the blockchain's aware, it's out there, it knows it. You just have to add the ticker after and it'll still show up.
Okay. So I think my head is swimming, but I think that was very clean and simple and easy to understand. So we've done, in essence, I want to kind of wrap this video up just so we got 2 really clean videos, a step 1 and a step 2. So just to recap, so we're all clear. Step 1, take your fiat money. You've got to go to an on-ramping, which is either BitBuy or ShakePay. So you'd go to that phase. For this argument, we're going to recommend BitBuy. Then we've recommended in this case to go to open up CoinGecko, so that you've got that open and you can see where your coins are being traded. So you need to know where you need to go, whether you need to go to a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. In this case, because we're going to buy Union and Yield, we're going to buy it on Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange. So before we can do that, we have to open up a MetaMask wallet, correct? And we have to get some Ethereum. Yep. So I'm in the right,
Yep. Because everything trades with Ethereum on these decentralized exchanges.
Okay, so we've taken our fiat money, our Canadian dollars, our American dollars. We bought Ethereum through BitBuy. From BitBuy, we're going to move it over to our MetaMask wallet that holds the Ethereum over there. And that's where if I'm understanding this correctly, the MetaMask wallet is where it's going to hold all my future coins anyways. It's my wallet, basically.
Yeah. And you literally, you don't have to, unlike a normal exchange, you're trading in and out of your wallet. Okay. So you never have to go through that middleman of a decentralized or a centralized exchange now.
And I think I understand when it's Uniswap, it's because it's swapping my Ethereum for the coins. It's just swapping it in my wallet.
Swapping one for another.
And if you're all dealing like, so for instance, the other day I wanted more Union and I had a lot of Aave. I was able to swap my Aave directly for Union.
Oh, okay. So you
can charge gas on that?
Yes. Oh yeah. And sometimes this is the crappy part. If you're in really random coins, like if I was to swap my yield credit for Union, I'd pay double fees because it can't just go straight from Aave. Aave is so big, it can go from Aave to Union. No problem. But because they're both minor coins, it would kind of reroute to Ethereum. They would do like a reroute to Ethereum and then they do that all for you, but you'd pay the double fees for it.
Sneaky.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense just because it's not as established. So it's like it needs to build trust, I guess, maybe. I haven't quite figured out why that happens. But I've noticed when I'm in a bigger coin like Aave and I want to get Union or something, I can go directly for a one-time fee rather than selling my Aave for Ethereum and then buying my Union with that Ethereum. I could just go from one to the other.
Okay. I am sure at the end of this little video series, there'll be a whole pile of comments in the comment section with more questions on all of this, stuff. So we'll regroup on this, but I think this is a really, really good step for to stop today and just go, okay, that's enough. Get these 2 things done and get your toes wet. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much once again, Tim. You are amazing. Really, really super appreciate this. And we'll talk to you again next time.
Thanks, Tim.
Good.